Before we get into this game, I wanted to let you guys know that while Season 2 is coming to an end, we are already planning what is coming next for the show. At the top of the description of this video, you'll be able to find a link to a survey where we have just a handful of questions about what you guys would like to see from the show going forward and how we can make some improvements. It takes about 1 minute to fill out. If you do that, it would help us out a lot. But we're excited for what's cooking behind the scenes. All right, let's go ahead and hop into this game.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Season 2 finale of our Commander gameplay series, Upkeep. And this time, we're doing something we did in the first season as well. Everyone is bringing back a deck from earlier in the season that they feel like underperformed and give it another chance. So, let's go ahead and jump into the deck intros. Before we get to that though, thank you to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. If you like these cool graphic tees like the one I am wearing right now, they have tons of really cool designs, and then they also have other stuff like polos and hoodies and flannels and all sorts of cool stuff. We will have a link in the description of this video and as the pinned comment if you want to check out intotheam.com/GNS. That will give you 10% off your order as well as directly support the channel. So again, thank you Into the AM for supporting the show, and now we will jump into the deck intros. Today I am bringing back the deck that I played on Uncommon Commanders, and I am playing Queza, Augur of Agonies. I upgraded this deck kind of a lot actually, so we are just going to draw cards and draw cards and draw cards and all sorts of fun stuff. And yes, the infinite combo is still in here, but no, there are still no tutors, so kind of fair. We'll see how it goes.
Hey guys, Steven here, and for today on Revenge Week, I'm going to be playing Shadrix Silver Quill. I originally played this deck back on our $100 budget episode. Made quite a few additions to the deck since then. Budget's definitely a little more than $100 now, and we'll see what happens this time.
Hey guys, Preston here, and today on Revenge Week, you know I had to bring back everyone's favorite, Sliver Overlord. Sliver Tribal, try to fill my board with all the fun, scary slivers that my deck has to offer, and hopefully overrun my enemies with my little army.
Hey guys, Tommy back. Today on Revenge Week, I'm playing Clavileno, First of the Blessed. He's the commander for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Precon, so I played him back on that episode. Didn't get to do much that episode, obviously, because it's Revenge Week, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this time.
If you like Geek and Seek and would like to continue seeing us make videos, consider becoming a patron. Joining us on Patreon also means you get to join us on Discord where you can hang out and talk Magic. And if you can't support us financially, you can help us out by just checking out some of our other videos and interacting by liking and subscribing.
All right, Season 2 finale. Steven, you won the dice roll. Start us off.
Will do. I'm going to play Concealed Courtyard as my land for turn. See, Morgan, it's not pointless. Tap it for a black, and I'm going to cycle Baron Moore and draw a card. That will be the end of my turn.
All right, I will draw. I will play a Steam Vents as my land for turn. I will not pay the 2. I'll pass.
I will play a Myriad Landscape as my land for turn. It enters tapped, and I will pass.
Draw. I'm just gonna play an Exotic Orchard and pass.
That would be draw. Play a Plains, and that is it.
Draw.
Good fair magic.
Forest, green and 1. I'm gonna cast Farseek.
I take it back.
It's 1 ramp spell.
He's doing green things.
I'll get Overgrown Tomb as my land, and I'll be passing.
Okie dokie. We play a Secluded Courtyard as my land. When it enters battlefield, choose a creature type. I will choose Vampires.
Logical.
Now, why would he choose that?
And then for 1 and a black, for Dusk Legion Zealot, 1/1 Vampire Soldier. When it enters the battlefield, I draw a card and lose 1 life. So I'll draw a card, and I will lose 1 life. And I will pass.
I am going to play a Snow-Covered Is Land for my land for the turn, and for a 1, I'm going to cast a Soul Ring.
No.
And then for 2, and you have a blue land, right? Steam Vents? Yeah.
Yep.
So for 2 and a blue, I'm going to evoke in a Mole Drifter. Enters the battlefield. I draw 2 cards, and then he's going to die.
And he was the one just crying about fair magic.
Rest in spaghetti.
I have 7 cards in hand. I will pass the turn.
Godspeed, Mr. Fishman.
I love evoking Mole Drifter. He's like, I'm here. I'm done.
I'm going to play a Swamp as my land for turn. I'm going to pay 3 to play Read the Bone. So I'm going to scry 2, then draw 2, and I'll lose 2 life. I'm going to keep 1 and bottom the other. Then I'm going to draw 2, and then I lose 2. That is the end of my turn.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to have to discard down 1.
Let's do Myriad Landscape.
I will draw my card for turn. I will play a Glacial Fortress. And for 4, I will cast Regal Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have, whenever this creature enters the battlefield, slivers you control get +1/+1 until end of turn if you're the Monarch. Otherwise, you become the Monarch. It is a 3/3.
Wait a minute.
I will go to my end step. I am the Monarch. I get to draw a card and pass.
Go ahead and play Terramorphic Expanse. I will tap and sack the Terramorphic Expanse. Search basic, put on the battlefield tapped. I will go find a swamp. Pass.
You're not gonna attack with your 1/1? Steven's wide open.
So are
And
you.
I'll hit Morgan for 1.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Draw. I'm just gonna play a War Room as my land for the turn and pass.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Tainted Field as my land for turn.
Field.
I'll pay 4 to play Solemn Simulacrum. I will search my library for a plains.
Mr.
When it dies,
Sad Robot.
I may draw a card.
Mr. Sad.
That
Robot.
will be the end of my turn.
Sliver Hive is my land for the turn. I'm gonna pay 5 for Reflections of Litjara. When it ends the battlefield, I choose a creature type. I'll choose Sliver. Whenever I cast a spell of the chosen type, I copy that spell.
All right. I want you guys to remember that I was responsible. For 2 and a blue, I'm gonna hardcast a Fierce Guardianship, counter target non-creature spell.
You're a butt.
I want y'all to remember I did that.
3 Morgan. Pass.
When you go to your end step, I'm going to pay a blue and a white to flash in a Fairy Mastermind. 2/1 with flying. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, I draw a card. So when you draw for the Monarch, I will draw a card.
You're
Whack.
a bad person.
Anyway, untap, draw, play the Isolated Chapel. It does not enter tapped. 1 black, white. Bring out Clavileno. 2/2 vampire cleric, excuse me. Whenever I attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon becomes a demon in addition to its other types. It gains, when this creature dies, draw a card and create a tapped 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature token with flying. So that's fun. So let's go ahead and get that ability rolling. Dusk Legion Zealot. I am going to swing it at Preston for 1 damage. I become the Monarch, becomes a demon, and when he dies, draw a card and create a token. End step, I draw a card.
That will let me draw a card because
Yep.
of Fairy Mastermind.
It sure will. 3,
Your
4,
Majesty.
5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shoot, I have to discard down. I think I'll discard the Welcoming Vampire. And pass.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna miss my land drop, boyos. For 5 mana, I'm going to cast Alhemaret Archive. If I would gain life, I gain twice that much life, and then if I would draw a card, except for the first one I draw on each of my draw steps, I draw 2 cards instead. I'm going to move to combat, and I'm going to send 2 in the air at Tommy.
Well, that sucks.
So I will take the Monarch.
You sure will take the Monarch.
And I will pass the turn. I will draw a card because I am the Monarch, and that will draw me 2 cards because I have the Archive. I have to discard 2 cards. I will discard Dragskull Reaver and Jin Kataxis. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pay 5 to go ahead and cast Shadrix Silverquill. 2/5 flying double strike at the beginning of combat of your turn. You may choose 2. Each mode must target a different player. Target player creates a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Target player draws a card and loses a life. Target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. No, Morgan, I'm not gonna let you draw a card. I'm gonna go to combat. Tommy, why don't you go ahead and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control?
Oh, thank you.
I will draw a card and lose a life. Morgan, I'm attacking you for 2.
I take 2, and you become the Monarch.
Yay!
He didn't draw his second card.
Oh, yeah. When you draw your second card from Shadrix, I will draw a card from the Fairy Mastermind, and I will actually draw another card because of the Archive.
I'm gonna play Orzhov Ballistica as my land for turn. I'll put planes back in my hand. Pass the turn. I'll go ahead and discard Snowfield Sinkhole.
Well, you are gonna draw because you're Monarch.
And then
And you have to still discard again. Draw my card for turn. Cliff Chop Retrieve will enter the battlefield untapped.
I'm gonna promise loyalty.
I'm gonna pay 5 and I'm going to cast Vanquisher's Banner. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type. Slivers. Creatures I control of the chosen type get +1/+1. Whenever I cast a creature of the chosen type, I draw a card.
Are you sure you don't want to choose vampires?
No, not really.
Okay.
Morgan's still the scariest.
What?
Pass.
Okay. The plains for 1 and a white. Can play Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens I control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Black. Cordial Vampire. 1/1. Whenever it or another creature dies, I put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire I control.
Oh.
We are gonna go to combat.
I'm getting picked on.
You are getting picked on.
He deserves it though.
I will just even the life totals and send it at Preston for 2. Pass.
Draw. For 2, I'm going to cast the Azorius Signet. For 1, I'm going to tap the Azoria Signet to cast a Wayfarer's Bauble. I still have a, I don't know, a blue floating, I guess. Add another blue, tap the Wayfarer's Bauble, sacrifice it to find a basic swamp to put onto the battlefield tapped. For a blue, I'm going to preordain. I'm going to scry 2, then draw a card. Leave that on top, bottom this, and then I'm going to play Hollowed Fountain as my land. I will not pay the 2 life. Oh, I actually draw 2 cards off of Preordain because of the El Hemerit's Archive. Well, I guess I'm just gonna pass the turn. I have to discard down to hand size. I will discard Peer into the Abyss.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play Command Tower as my land for turn. First things first, I'm gonna pay 2 to Fracture.
El Hemerit's Archive?
Yeah, El Hemerit's Archive.
So rude. Why are you picking on me? Why is everyone picking on me?
I'm gonna pay 3 to play Mentor of the Meek. It is a 2/2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield on my control, I may pay 1 if I do draw a card. Go to combat. I'm going to create myself a 2/1 Inkling token. When I do that, I'll pay 1 and I'll draw a card. And then
That will
let's
trigger the Fairy Mastermind and I will get to draw a card.
go ahead and draw a card and lose a life.
Ooh!
I'm going to attack Preston with Shadrix, and I'm going to attack Morgan with, well, I'll attack him with Solemn, so I come. Go to my end step. I have 6 cards in my hand. I draw a card.
Draw my card for turn. Plains, we are going to pay 7 for Morophon the Boundless. Changeling, it's every creature type. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type, I'll choose Slivers. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost 1 of each color less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. Other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. On cast, I do get to draw a card from the banner. When it enters the battlefield, because of Regal Sliver, I'll become the Monarch.
Name.
Then I'll cast my commander for free.
Sus.
I'll draw another card. I'm already the Monarch, so now my creatures get +1/+1 from the Regal Sliver.
So someone got a board wipe?
Tommy hit me, but not for anything significant, so he's fine for now.
I did let you draw a card.
Yeah, and then he gave me 4 commander damage. This time I think I'll spend 6 at stave.
I'll block the 2/1 Inkling.
That's fair. I will go to my end step. I will draw. That will put me at 8. I will have to discard.
That will trigger the Fairy Mastermind, so I will also draw a
I'll
card.
discard an island. It's your go.
Okay. Play the Temple of Silence that enters tapped. When it enters, I scry 1. I'll leave that on top. 1 white black etchings of the Chosen. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. I'm going to choose vampires. Creatures I control of the Chosen type get +1/+1, and I can pay 1 and sacrifice a creature of the Chosen type. Target creature I control gains indestructible until end of turn.
That's pretty scary.
It's a good one. 1 and a white. Also play Martyr of the Dusk. 2/1 Vampire Soldier. When it dies, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. Gonna go to combat.
Someone board wipe. Steven.
What do you mean, Steven?
You have the board wipe colors.
And so do you.
We all do.
I mean,
We all
yeah,
do.
we all
What are you
do.
talking about? Dusk Legion Zealot at Steven. 2. 3. Sorry. From Etchings of the Chosen.
I guess I'll take that.
Pass.
Okay, I'm gonna play a better Temple of the False God as my land for the turn.
Temple would be better right there. You wouldn't lose any life.
Anytime you tap it, you're gonna lose 2 life.
Did you say something?
I said you're gonna lose 2 life!
For 3, I'm gonna cast a Heuristic Study. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, I draw a card unless they pay 1. Friends?
If you don't hit me right now.
Cool, you can have that Monarch.
Really, the 2 damage?
For 2 black, I take 2 off of the Ancient Tomb. I'm going to Sheoldred the Apocalypse.
Oh.
4/5 with Death Touch. Whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
And then for a blue and 2, we're going to Days Undoing. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draw 7 cards. If it's my turn, I end the turn.
In response, I'm gonna pay a white to Path to Exile.
You mean Swords to Plowshares?
Swords to Plowshare. I'm sorry, Swords to Plowshare. Well, at least you get to gain little lives too. You need it with that Ancient Tomb, you goon.
That was about to be bad.
Oh, that was about to be real bad.
We do still shuffle our graveyard.
We still do that. but
Our
we
hands in
don't-
our graveyards.
Hands in
and draw
graveyards.
Hands in
draw
graveyards,
7.
draw 7. I was somewhat indifferent to my hand. I was not a fan of losing 14 life, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You're welcome, yo. Morgan's like, quit picking on me.
He does this every game.
I know.
And then I'm also going to draw an additional 3 cards because of Fairy Mastermind.
I'm okay with this. I'm alright with this.
Only-
This isn't bad.
1 land.
Oh, Steven, did you pay the 1 for Heuristic Study? It doesn't matter. No. I'm going to go to end step 10. I have to discard 3 cards. I will discard Preordain, Mystic Confluence, Seagate Restoration.
Go ahead.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Pay 2 to play Mind Stone.
Do you pay the 1 for Ristic Study?
I have never once broken a deal in a game of Magic, but we might be having the first example of me doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay you.
Okay.
3 to play Duelist Heritage. Whenever one or more creatures attacks, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until end of turn.
Do you want to pay the 1 for Ristic Study?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to combat. I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control.
Draw a card, lose
No, absolutely not.
Give me an inkling.
I would only do that if that 1 life would kill you.
You can give me the inkling. I never promised to not hit him with an inkling.
Tommy, why don't you go ahead and draw a card and lose a life?
Okay. Thank you.
A little bit for everybody, okay?
Except who?
You. Did I help?
No.
No, I didn't.
I'll let you take the Monarch if you want it, or if you need it.
Shadrix up Morgan and Mentor of Meek at Preston.
I'll block with the Fairy Mastermind.
And then I forgot to give a creature double strike. Moved my end step. I become the Monarch. Draw a card.
Untap. Draw. I'm gonna pay 2 for an Explorer. I can play an additional land this turn and draw a card. I'll definitely pay 1 for the Ristic. My 2 lands for turn are going to be Floodplain and Mountain Valley. Both enter the battlefield tapped. Weeball. Descendant's Fury. Enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, I can sacrifice one of them. If I do, reveal cards until you reveal a creature card that shares a creature type with the creature. Put that card on the battlefield, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
And you can't pay for the Ristic Study?
No.
You want me to give your commander double strike?
Well, that's not very nice of Tommy. Well, he already promised not to attack me this turn.
Yeah, I might be breaking that promise. You did a lot of scary stuff.
You better not. That would be so messed up.
I'll be nice and I'll just swing at Morgan for 5 right now.
I'll go ahead and give a double strike.
Caught on camera. Preston broke his word.
When I deal combat damage, I will sacrifice it and I'll do the Descendant's Fury thing. I'll take Sliver Grave Mother.
Uh-oh.
The legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver card in your graveyard has Encore X, where X is its mana value, and then Sliver Grave Mother has Encore 5. Right now I only have the Regal Sliver, so it's not a huge scary threat, but it'll get scary as the game goes on. Pass.
Okay. Play a Swamp, land for turn, black and a white, and 1 for the Ristic Study. Legion Lieutenant. Other vampires I control get +1/+1. 1 for Ristic Study. Cruel Celebrant. Whenever it or another creature or planeswalker I control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. We're going to go to combat. Declaring attackers is going to be the Dusk Legion Zealot and Martyr of Dusk. On attack, Martyr of Dusk will become a demon and get the stuff from my commander. Oh, I will also attack with Clavileno, actually. He's going to go at Morgan, 5 commander damage. And then Martyr of Dusk and Dusk Legion Zealot are just going at you, Preston.
I'm going to give one of those ones double strike.
Well, I'll take the 5 commander.
I'll block the one that doesn't have double strike with Sliver Grave Mother.
Which one are you giving double strike?
Let's just do that one.
Okay.
So I'll take the 8 from that and I'll block the 4.
So when it dies, I will create both a 4/3 vampire demon and a 1/1 white vampire with lifelink.
And then we all lose 1, you gain 1.
Cruel Celebrant, yeah, you all lose 1, I gain 1. And I put a +1/+1 on each vampire I control.
Oh my god. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
For Morgan's to sweat.
Maybe not anymore.
Can't believe y'all. For 3, I'll cast Midnight Clock. It's a mana rock that taps for blue. I can pay 2 and a blue to put an hour counter on it. At the beginning of each upkeep, I put an hour counter on it. And then when it gets to 12, I exile it and then shuffle my hand and graveyard into my library and draw 7 cards.
I mean, we're
If I
worried
play a
about
land,
Tommy
it's
now, right?
9. Yes.
No, I think you guys are fine. I don't know what you're worried about.
If no one board wipes, I can hit him hard on my turn.
And I can make it harder.
Well, the problem is if no one board wipes, he just kills me. I'm gonna play an Underground River as my land for the turn. Okay, for 5 mana, taking 2 off of the Ancient Tomb, I'm going to recast the Alhemerit's Archive. I drew back into it. If I gain a life, I gain twice that much life if I would draw a card, except for the first card I draw on each of my draw steps. I draw 2 cards instead, and then we'll just hope I don't die, and for 4, I'm gonna cast my commander Queza. Whenever I draw a card, target opponent loses a life and I gain a life. Pass.
Besides obviously just swinging out on him, what more would you do to Tommy?
If you don't pay for the heuristic study, the damage that my commander deals will all go at Tommy.
Let's go ahead and
This is the opposite of your last performance.
I know. I'm happy. I'm very happy with it right
let's
now.
do something. Let's do something a little fun. I'm gonna pay 3 to play Scholarship Sponsor.
Oh!
It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, each player who controls fewer lands than the player who controls the most lands searches their library for a number of basic land cards less than or equal to the difference. So you have 9. So we each go up to 9.
Okay, so I will find 2. On cast, though, do you pay the 1 for heuristic study?
No.
Okay, so I will draw a card, which will trigger Queza, so I will gain 2, deal 2 to Tommy. I will gain the extra life because of the archive. I will draw an extra card because of the archive as well. So that's another.
I will get 3 basics, and they will. All of these go on the battlefield tapped, and then
Wait, would I still lose 2 per card you draw?
Yeah, isn't it only lose 1?
Yes.
and then Tommy, how many you had? 7.
I had
So
7.
you will get 2 basics to put on
Cool.
the battlefield tapped.
Sick.
Morgan, you know why everybody's picking on you?
Why?
You remember last Revenge Week?
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is nothing like that.
No, this at this point, yeah.
I think they're holding a 365-day grudge.
That sounds like it. I'm gonna grab an island and a snow-covered plains.
I got 1 swamp and 2 plains.
I
I'm not
grabbed.
holding a grudge. I just seen what this deck can do.
I've grabbed 2 planes.
Oh, and on your
I agree.
upkeep, I forgot. I put a counter on the midnight clock.
Let's go to combat. I'll give presence creatures +1/+1 counters. I'm gonna create an Inkling, and then when I do, I'll pay 1
From Mentor of the Meek to draw a card.
Mentor of the Meek to draw a card. Pay a white to cycle Secluded Step, draw a card. I'll go ahead and play Scarred Barrens as my land for turn and use the battlefield.
Aren't you in combat right now?
No, I'm just not gonna attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, still play that as my land for turn. Gain a life when it enters the battlefield. I think that's gonna be it, Chief. Draw a card because I'm still the monarch, right?
Yeah.
And then
You check this somewhere.
and then I will have to discard down. I'll get Caves of Koilos.
Feels bad, but I'm gonna need a bunch of mana. So I'm gonna sack my Floodplain and Mountain Valley, Godless Shrine and Blood Crypto, the lands I chose. I'll be paying 2 life for both of them. Gotta go for it. 2 life for Breeding Pool.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Pay 2 because my Slivers have their mana cost reduced a little for Horn Sliver. All Slivers gain trample.
Please don't pay for heuristic study.
I'm not.
I will gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, deal 1 to Tommy.
Okay, I'm gonna sync with that a little different.
Okay.
Well, I'm still going to be casting it, but before I do, I'm going to bring Regal Sliver back from my graveyard first. I become Monarch when when I have a Sliver enter, and then as another Sliver enters while I'm the Monarch, my creatures get +1/+1 for the turn. So I'm going to make a token copy of this for each of you. One of them coming in will give me Monarch, then the other 2 and the Horn Sliver are going to give all my creatures +3/+3 for the turn. I did cast a Sliver then, so I will draw a card from the Vanquisher's banner.
I'm really bad about remembering this, but on your upkeep, I put a counter on the midnight clock.
Yeah. 3 for an Icon of Ancestry, choosing Slivers. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. I can pay 3 to look at the top 3 cards, reveal 1.
I can draw from heuristic.
Yep.
I will draw 2 cards because of archive, gaining 2 life, dealing 1 to Tommy.
1 and 2 for a Realm Rocker. It's a changeling, so it's all creatures type.
I'm good.
Yep. I'll draw a card from the banner. I can look at the top card of my library at any time.
Getting to do the Jason thing.
I can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of my library. I'll be choosing Slivers when he comes in, so that will give my creatures another +1/+1 until end of turn. Everything is going at Tommy except for the 2 copies that have to go at Morgan and Stave because of the card.
So it's 6.
So these are 10/10s.
Oh no.
Oh, is that just 10/10 or they? Oh, well, they also have trample.
They do have trample.
Oh, I think I'm just dead.
I'll give your commander double strike.
I take the 10.
I guess I'll go ahead and block with Scholarship Sponsor and Solemn Simulacrum. So I'll block 6 of that. So I
Okay.
still take 4.
Fair.
And then I'll draw a card from Solemn Simulacrum when it dies.
Okay, so give me numbers.
One eternity later.
5 creatures die.
So we all lose 5, you gain 5.
So I will gain 5. Everyone will lose 5. Yeah, I'll put 5 +1/+1s on these 2 that I
right.
don't block with.
Well, if you get to swing with them, they be thick.
37.
Yeah.
So I'm dead. I'm still dead.
Wow.
God.
Dang.
Wow. That. Wow.
I'll get
That was impressive.
Okay, first of all, good job dealing with the threat.
Wow.
Second of all, can we just highlight that in less than an hour, Tommy almost won the game,
then
which is the
lost.
polar opposite of what happened the first time he played this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
this
my
deck-
god. I'll save it for end step, but god, I'm happy with how this deck did. Even if I was the first to die, I'm still happy with how this went.
And then these will be sacrificed at the end of combat, or at the end of turn. And I'll draw a card because I'm the Monarch.
So my go.
Now you and Steven fight for who actually wins.
Okay. Upkeep. I put a counter on midnight clock. Draw for turn. I will gain 2 life. Deal 1 to Steven. All right, Steven. I think you'll understand that I need to try to probably find a board wipe. My highest mana value board wipe in this deck is Decree of Pain. which is 8 mana, so I need to save this. Oh god dang, we did. I'm gonna play a Reliquary Tower as my land for the turn. So I have no maximum hand size, 6/7, where X is equal to 5. I'm gonna pull from tomorrow. So I will actually draw 10 cards and gain 10 life because of the archive. And I will deal 5 damage to... I could just kill Preston, then I don't have to find a board wipe. No, Steven's board's actually pretty scary. We'll deal it to Steven.
You see the damage he has on board, right?
Yeah.
You just saw what happened here, right?
I'm going to cast a board wipe if I find one. 10. Oh my god, guys, I did not find a board wipe.
You see the smoldering nuclear wasteland that used to be my battlefield, right?
I think I can at least put myself out of kill range. Well, we finna go for it, boyos. For 2 with the Ancient Tomb, I'm gonna cast a Felwar Stone, and then I'm gonna tap the Felwar Stone for a black, and then tap out. Peer into the Abyss. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library, and I lose half my life. I round up each time.
In response, I'm gonna pay a white towards the Plowshare Commander.
In response, I'm gonna Fierce Guardianship to counter target non-creature spell.
Fine.
So we gotta
I'll just
figure
help
out.
you not gain life, I guess.
Well, hold on. You just killed yourself.
Yeah.
No, because I lose half.
And then don't you gain that life back when you draw?
Yeah.
Yes, but you killed yourself because you were going to draw half your library rounded up times 2, so you will draw 1 more card than you actually
Than you
have.
have.
You just killed yourself.
Oh my god, with the Yellowhammer Archive?
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
will not get any of your damage triggers off before you have
Before
killed
you
yourself.
die.
This is the
Oh my
greatest game of all
god.
time.
Take back counter?
No, that's
pretty
no.
Huh. Well, boys, I guess I accidentally killed myself.
Hey, go out on your own terms. I like it. I like it.
Accidentally.
Okay.
This is the craziest game I think we've filmed yet. Like this is.
This is so funny. Okay. I'm
so annoyed.
So my turn.
If you were rounding down, or if you had an even number of cards in your library, you'd have been fine. But rounding up with an odd
number of cards in your library killed you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I think I got you just on combat. So I guess the question is, how do I want to take care of it? Because there is another way. I'm going to give a 1/1 counter on each creature I control. You can draw a card and lose a life. And then I'm going to attack.
Fool.
I'm going to attack you with Shadrix, my Inkling, and Mentor of the Meek. So with flying, and I'm going to give my Inkling double strike. So
In
I think.
response, I lose the game.
Wow.
Wow. that was
Good
fast.
game.
Good game.
That was one of the shortest games.
That
we've
was
ever done.
insanely short. I love that.
I was going to cast Exsanguinate.
Oh my
Exsanguinate.
God. We might have been dead anyways then.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
okay. I don't know what to say about this
That was
game,
a crazy
guys.
game. That was wild.
Thanks for checking out this show. Thanks for supporting us. Great way to end season 2. We will be back next week to talk a little bit more about this game, a little bit more about our decks, and then we might give a little sneak peek on what's coming. This is not the end of the show per se, so but there are some changes coming. So tune in next week, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.